Hey family, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you've joined us. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and also a follower of Jesus Christ. My passion is blending clinical insights with timeless biblical wisdom to help you live a healthier, more whole life. Today, we're diving into a story that I think is incredibly relevant for our modern mental health journeys. We're going to explore the mental health lessons from the life of Moses. When we think of Moses, we often jump straight to the big, epic moments. The burning bush, parting the Red Sea, the 10 Commandments. But his story is so much more than just miracles. It's a profound narrative about trauma, identity crises, deep-seated fear, and ultimately, the incredible healing power of God. To really get this, we need to go back to the very beginning, to his origin story. Let's turn to Exodus chapter 2. The Bible tells us Moses was born during a horrific genocide. Pharaoh had ordered that every Hebrew baby boy be killed. Can you even imagine the terror his parents felt? For 3 months, his mother Jochebed hid him, her heart likely pounding with every cry he made. Eventually, knowing she couldn't hide him any longer, she made a desperate, faith-filled choice. She placed him in a waterproof basket and set him afloat on the Nile River, entrusting him to God's protection. Let's just pause and sit with that for a moment. Moses' life story begins with overwhelming fear, immediate danger, and a traumatic separation from his mother, his primary source of safety and comfort. From a clinical perspective, we know that these kinds of early childhood experiences, often called developmental trauma, can deeply shape our entire lives. They can wire our nervous systems for anxiety, create core beliefs that we are unsafe or unwanted, and affect how we form attachments later in life. Many of us, in our own ways, carry wounds from our early years. Maybe it wasn't a genocide, but perhaps it was the pain of abandonment, the instability of a chaotic home, the sting of constant rejection, or simply growing up in an environment where you never truly felt safe or seen. These experiences leave imprints on our souls. They can influence how we view ourselves, how we interact with others, and how we respond to stress and challenges as adults. But here is the beautiful, powerful truth that Moses' life screams from the pages of Scripture. Your beginnings do not have to define your destiny. God's plan for you is bigger than the pain you started with. Think about Moses' upbringing. He's rescued by Pharaoh's daughter and raised in the opulent Egyptian palace. So now he's living in this constant state of dual identity. He is a Hebrew by birth, blood, and secret heritage, yet he's an Egyptian prince by culture, education, and environment. This is a classic identity crisis. Who am I? Where do I belong? Am I one of them or one of us? This internal conflict is a heavy burden to carry, and it often leads to confusion and instability. We see this unresolved tension boil over when Moses, now a grown man, sees an Egyptian mistreating a Hebrew slave. In a flash of rage, he acts impulsively. He kills the Egyptian and buries him in the sand. This wasn't just a random act of violence. It was the eruption of years of suppressed anger, identity confusion, and unresolved trauma. He was trying to protect his people, but he did it in a way that was driven by his pain, not by God's guidance. When his actions are discovered, what does he do? He runs. He flees into the desert, becoming an exile, a fugitive. He spends the next 40 years as a shepherd in Midian, a shadow of the prince he once was. It would be so easy to look at this part of his life and think, well, that's it. He blew it. His trauma got the best of him. His story is over. And yet, that's exactly where God meets him. God doesn't show up when Moses has it all figured out. He doesn't wait for him to become perfect. He calls him right in the middle of his exile, his failure, and his hidden identity. This is such a critical message for every single one of us. Your past might explain some of your patterns, your struggles, and your pain, but it absolutely does not disqualify you from your purpose. God is not waiting for you to escape your story before he steps into it. He meets you right there in the messy middle with all your baggage and broken pieces. He specializes in redemption. So, here's a thought I want to leave you with this week. Take some quiet time to reflect on this question. What early experiences in your life have shaped how you see yourself today? The point of this isn't to assign blame or to get stuck in the past. The goal is to gain understanding and self-awareness. When we understand the why behind our feelings and behaviors, we can bring those things into the light and invite God to begin the healing process. If God could take Moses, a man marked by trauma, an identity crisis, anger, and fear, and transform him into one of the greatest leaders in history, imagine what he can do with your story. Your pain is not a period, it's a comma. It's a part of your journey, not the final destination. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this was encouraging. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of our series. See you then.